So what's up, Geeks? This is LJ with Geeks Under Grace. I am here with a game developer at Behemoth. You know Behemoth from Castle Crashers, Battle Block Theater, Alien Hominid. So we just got to try Pit People, and so we're just going to have him talk a little bit about the game and break it down for us. And it is out now as early access and game preview. So why don't you give us a backstory and just the basic plot line of Pit People, and just tell everybody what it's all about.
Yeah, so Pit People is our fourth game, as you mentioned. It's a fast-paced, turn-based co-op adventure where you get to create a strange team of people, as you saw, and then they spend a lot of time fighting and recruiting more strange people. The story kind of kicks off with this cosmic event in space where, for lack of a better term, a space bear is seemingly killed, and is all his green bear blood is like falling to the planet and kind of messing with life and time and creating weird creatures. So we pick up there with the narrator, who's a huge part of the story. And the narrator introduces us to the main cast of heroes and then immediately starts ruining their lives.
Cool. That's awesome. So, so when you guys were thinking about working on the next game, how did you go about trying to keep that same classic Behemoth humor, and yet at the same time trying something new with the genre?
Several ways. We always end up doing. We always take on a new genre with every game. So that was first and foremost. And it was kind of just figuring out what kind of game we wanted to make. It started early on with Dan Paladin, who's one of the co-founders and lead art and animation and design. And he just had a very basic concept of like a team of fighters with very minimal UI. And it just kind of grew out of there with like iteration and prototyping. With humor, it's kind of just who we are, and it's in our DNA. Again, from the look and the humor and the visual humor, that's all Dan Paladin. Again, got to give props to him. But then we also brought back in Will Stamper, narrator from Battle Block Theater. And in this game, he was kind of there from the very beginning. Battle Block, he kind of came in mid to halfway through, or mid to later in the development, and to do narration. So this, he was like with us from the start and helping craft the story and create that narrator who you just got to hear, who just is just belittling you the entire time. And yeah, so it's a combination of that and just our internal kind of office humor, which is, I guess, becoming like this hallmark in everything we do.
So another question is, I know you guys bring your stuff to PC and Xbox a lot. Have you guys ever considered putting any of your games on any of the other modern platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. We're fans of all other platforms, but what it comes down to is like still a fairly small, mid-sized team, and we like keep everything really close. So it's just a matter of bandwidth. Like we want to do those things, but nothing officially announced at this time. We're just starting with Xbox One and Steam.
So another question that just popped up in my head. Did you guys look at any particular tactics games or anything that particularly inspired the gameplay of Pit People?
Yes and no. A lot of us are like strategy, tactical, RPG, and turn-based fans in general. So that was already kind of there, I think, in our headspace. There's a lot of like Frozen Synapse, Advance Wars, of course, and Fire Emblem, XCOM. So again, it wasn't so much as looking at those games as like we were just kind of like they're part of us. So I mean, a little of that, I'm sure there's like slight influence there, but what we wanted to do was make our version of a strategy game that's kind of more simplified in terms of how you play, and maybe entice players who don't normally play strategy games to play our strategy game.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So I think that's about all I have right now. So tell us again, if people want to play this game right now from their homes. I just had the chance to play it on these awesome arcade machines. So just tell the folks where they can purchase Pit People and any of your previous titles.
You could go on Steam, of course. It's out on early access, and and on Steam you'll also find. Sorry, I should just talk about Pit People first. You have Steam Early Access or Xbox One game preview, and that's all discounted right now to $14.99, so it's cheaper than when the full release comes. And then you can find all our games, BattleBlock Theaters on XBLA, 360, as well as Steam, and Castle Crashers on Steam X1, or I should say Castle Crashers Remastered is Steam and X1.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then BattleBlock is also, I believe it's backwards compatible.
Thank you. It is backwards compat, so you can play it on your Xbox One as right now.
Awesome. I think that's all I have. It's been great playing Pit People, and it was great talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome.